And welcome back to the Orca Boat Shop. My name is Rod. If you're enjoying this video series on building Skana, maybe consider becoming a subscriber and check out all my other videos. You can also check out my website at www.orcaboats.ca, whereby we sell plans for these boats, kits for these boats, and all kinds of building materials. All sanded, vacuumed off, cleaned off, checked for any scratches by wetting it down and then resanding. I've laid out a layer of 4-ounce glass over the deck. It's time to apply the epoxy. So let's get to it. Epoxy's hardened for a few days now, so what I've done is I've gone inside and I've knocked out all of the forms and taken them all out through the cockpit opening here. I've had to cut through a little bit at the shear line, because you remember there's a bit of dabs of hot glue that were holding the two shear strips together from hull to deck. So now that I've done that, it's time for the big reveal. To be able to see how well we did on finishing the inside. I'm just going to flip it over on its backside for now. They're looking pretty good. A little bit of tear up from the plywood forms, I should say, but there'll be a lot of scraping to do. So now it's on to cleaning and fiberglassing the inside of both halves in preparation for cutting out the proper cockpit size and the hatches. Following the first go-round of scraping, planing, and sanding, and not sander, I was sanding with a 40 grit, pretty rough sandpaper to remove some material. I'm now going to fill some voids where nobody can see with some epoxy. I'm using West System 410 Microlight filler. Now the thing I don't want to be putting this is anywhere where it might be seen, which would be where the hatches will be cut out, or the side of the cockpits, inside. In this area here, you'll be able to see from inside the cockpit. But on the very bottom of the deck, no one will see. This is just going to be a very thin film, which will get sand smooth, but I want to fill any voids. That'll prevent bubbles from happening when glass goes on. Go around and filling. Tomorrow I'll do another rough sanding and likely may have to fill a little bit more. It does tend to off-gas a little bit, causing little pinhole bubbles to come out. But while that's hardening up now, I can jump back over to the hull and start fairing inside there. With the deck removed from the hull, I have prepped the inside of the deck and the inside of the hull for fiberglass. So let me just explain what I've done so far, because really it's not that exciting stuff to really be showing on the video. The hull got a lot more sanding than the inside of the deck. Started by filling the ends with, again, some micro balloons to smooth it out so the glass will lay nice and flat in the sharp corners of the ends. And then I've sanded through basically nice and cleanly from where the artwork starts on the bottom through to where it ends in the back. Started out by scraping, then I've run my backing out plane, the little one that I've shown in other videos, to smooth it out even more so. Hit it with 80 grit a couple of times, wetted it down, then finished off with 120, wet it down. Everything looked good, so just hand sanded. And now we're ready to lay some fiberglass into both of these, and today is fiberglassing. I'll be glassing the inside of both the hull and the deck with 4-ounce fiberglass. However, I want to make sure that certain areas are a little bit reinforced. Now, first off is around the cockpit here. I like to lay a second layer under the full-length piece. Don't have to deal with the strands that are going to be kind of pulling out from the edge here. And what I'm doing is laying this piece down around the edge of the cockpit because, you know, as people get in and out of their boats, they're sitting on the back deck here, they're pushing on their hands to get out of the boat, and I don't want this area to fracture under weight and stress. So I'm just cutting a big, large, sort of U-shaped piece of 6-ounce glass from scraps left over from other projects. And lay that down inside there. I've also cut some smaller pieces of 6-ounce here that I'm going to lay down under the full piece in the area where the hatches will be cut out. I've seen too many hatches over the years, boats I've had to repair, other people built, whereby the hatch has warped because it wasn't stiff enough. And then you get a lot of water leaking in from your gaskets. So I'm going to be laying or cutting the opening right in here. So I'm laying my 6-ounce piece of glass down there, and I've done so on the foredeck as well. I've cut a couple of pieces of 4-ounce glass from the larger rolls. Didn't bring a whole roll in here, it's a bit heavy. Determined that I can glass the inside of the deck with 4-ounce by 30-inch wide, but that's not going to be wide enough to do the inside of the hull. So underneath this piece of 30-inch wide, I've got the 50-inch wide 4-ounce. I want to keep these scrap pieces nice and clean because I'll be using these in visible areas down the road. Glass is in, ready for epoxy. I'm suited up, mask on, here we go.